Oh boy, there's going to be quite a bit to explain with this one. So to do a walkthrough of the code, I'm like, which one? So here's my SQL Workbench. This is the main thing where the main stuff happens. I have just these blank select statements, and just to be able to see a lot of information, when I need to, it comes in handy a lot. Also, the copier table has been dropped. I can delete that. It's probably going to be a while before I spot everywhere that used to mention the copier table. For example, this one used to have a thing for the copier table. This is my fancy union statement that just lists every printer, vending machine, or microwave on campus in one big long query, and then a verbose one that's just for more debugging-y purposes. It just includes some IDs and stuff. Draft number 1 and then draft number 2 of this coordinate discrepancy calculator. I have a distance of 0.7 as a cutoff. The only thing that is, so this calculates like how far away is an object from the building it's claiming to be inside of. And so we have a printer here who, if you take the Pythagorean theorem of the discrepancy of its latitude and of its longitude from the coordinates of the building, you get a distance of 0.98, which is pretty high, but this is legit, and it's the highest one that's legit. Everything else was below 0.7, which is the threshold I'm using currently. So I have fancy queries here. I have more fancy queries in here. I wrote too many queries, so I put them into this file, and then I put them into wait, no. I thought I had more obsolete ones in here. Put the select ones in here, put anything that wasn't a select in here. These two are also related to this assignment. This is just my own informal time log, and this is the questions were, the form was threatening to not remember the data, so I pasted them there for safekeeping, but that turned out to be fine. So that's that. And then I wrote this in C#. This part is new. This used to just say console.writeLine JSON, but I wrote this really fancy regex statement so that the output of this program, when I run it into JavaScript, the object it produces and the JSON of that object is indistinguishable from what you get from using the export wizard in MySQL Workbench. So I can, in principle, switch over to using this to write directly into the repository and have no change in functionality whatsoever. It shouldn't, even if I hadn't done that, it should be pretty impossible for the little differences in formatting to break anything, except possibly that this was wrapping numerical values in quotes, and they were becoming strings, which was a problem. An annoying problem. So I've stripped away the quotes from the numerical values. But yeah, I'm not currently writing that to a file, just because I didn't end up, I've only needed to go through this process twice, so it was kind of hard to justify doing the extra hour or two of work it would take to get this all the way automated, to get all the tables and stuff. But that ends up here, which is, this is my copy of our repository, and the database folder is my contributions to the project. So we have the JSON files here individually, just in case we switch to reading these and using Node later, but I kind of doubt that's going to happen at this point. And then, because JavaScript really just does not like reading from files, I just pasted it in directly into the JavaScript. So there's all that data. And then I have this function called first floor isn't real, specifically for the Ricks building. It takes all the floor numbers, reduces them by 1, and then optionally, just if something is now saying it's in floor 0, it'll just delete that. And then remap here. So the thing with the primary key in SQL is it's almost like the index of an array, except that it doesn't like to recycle. Why is that? That's interesting. Did I do that manually? I think I must have. Anyway, you can see there's gaps here. It doesn't just recycle the values. It doesn't see, oh, there is no such thing as microwave 2, so let's make this one go in 2. No, it just keeps going. And so I wrote something to fix that. That just makes it so that when it's through with it, the primary key is effectively 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I wrote an example of code. Right here, where you have this for loop right here, does the same thing as this single line of code. And this single line of code is all you need after you run remap. But before remap, you'd have to write this entire for loop. And it's just so much faster if it just works the way that your like intuition dreams for it to work. At least that's how it feels to me. And then I have another thing here, assignDefaultCoordinates, which is wrong way. If the latitude or longitude is 0, it just takes the latitude or longitude of the parent building, because every object must have a parent building, and every parent building has coordinates. I don't even know if my database is enforcing that or not, but there's only like 20 buildings, and I've entered them all. So that's not. Maybe that'll change on the timescale of decades, but not days or months. So, yep, I think that's everything.